Hey guys, what's going on? This is Isaiah Brady coming at you with another video. And this video is actually going to be the first one in an ongoing segment talking about the new statutory changes. The new rules that are going to be going into effect that are going to be issued from the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority right now. Those rules are in their notice and comment phase to where from I think it's February 3rd to March 7th, the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority is going to be hearing public comments on these new rules. Today, I've actually skipped through some of the beginning information. I'm going straight to the information concerning medical marijuana businesses, and I'm going straight to page 21. And on page 21, it starts a couple of things. So this is the page that's speaking about a transporter license. So the first provision is it's basically setting up that a medical marijuana transportation license is going to be issued to each medical marijuana business. So, that's the same framework we're kind of familiar with the grow, the processor and the actual dispensaries. But then from there, it also lays out specifically that with that license, the people who operate those businesses can't transport for other medical marijuana businesses. Again, kind of some of the stuff that we've been familiar with. Going down to Part B, it also says that a medical marijuana transportation license that is independent of the other business licenses can be issued out. So again, the same framework that we're used to before. However, it's also laying out that under that transportation license, there are some additional things that can be done. So that transportation, under that independent transportation license, you can transport, store, and distribute medical marijuana or medical marijuana products on behalf of other commercial entities. You can contract with multiple commercial licensees, and you can maintain multiple warehouses for the purpose of temporarily storing and distributing medical marijuana and medical marijuana products. So that's more of a framework of you thinking like a distribution center for gas station businesses, for example, where those local businesses or those local dispensaries can come to that transportation business or that local medical marijuana distributor. And that entity will act as the middleman, and then those local dispensaries will come to that distributor and purchase whatever wares and things that distributor may have. Going on from there, going to page 22. These are going to be the requirements for the transportation license. They have been amended. The first amendment is going to be that all vehicles used for transportation medical marijuana or medical marijuana products shall, one, be equipped with active global positioning systems, so a GPS tracker, which shall not be mobile cellular, which may not be a mobile cellular device, and which shall be capable of storing and transmitting GPS data. So basically it's laying out that if you're going to be transporting medical marijuana, you need to put a GPS tracker on that car that's going to be transporting medical marijuana. You can't use your phone. Your phone isn't good enough. It needs to be an actual device that is on or inside of the car. Additionally, that vehicle needs to be insured at or above legal requirements in Oklahoma. That is kind of vague. That provision doesn't necessarily lay out what at or above legal requirements means. Going on from there, going down to the bottom of page 22, that's going to be the transportation agent license specifically laid out. And these are going to be provisions about how to get the application for a transportation agent license. So it's going to be covering the fee, who can do things, how you submit it, the documents that you need, getting that employment verification form and all that is really, really important. The supporting documentations that you can use with those supporting documents. A lot of times those same documents that you used for the actual, if it's one of the the owners or members of the business that is applying for a transportation agent card. Those same attachments that you use for the application for those individuals can also be used for that transportation agent card as well. Goes on to talk about the license terms, renewals. But then when we get to page 24, at the bottom of page 24, it lays out a lot of provisions about the inventory manifest when you actually go on to ship medical marijuana. So here it basically lays out in part 2, when transporting medical marijuana or medical marijuana products, commercial transporters, growers, processors, and dispensaries shall provide copies of the inventory manifest to each originating and receiving licensee at the time the product has changed hands. So basically meaning that whenever you're going to transport medical marijuana, you need to do 2 things. First thing you need to do, you need to have 2 things. You need to have 2 copies of that shipping manifest. So 1 copy you keep for yourself, the other copy you give to the person that you're selling to. From there, the copy of the inventory manifest to be left with the originating licensee shall include, at a minimum, 1, the license number, business name, address, and contact information of the originating licensee. The license number, that same information for the licensee that's actually purchasing the medical marijuana. A complete inventory of the medical marijuana and medical marijuana products to be transported, including the quantities by weight or units of each type of medical marijuana and medical marijuana products to be, and the batch numbers, the date of transportation, and the approximate time of departure. Printed names, signatures, and transportation agent license numbers of personnel accompanying the transport. My apologies. Notation of the commercial transporter, grower, processor, or dispensary authorizing the transport, and the license number or numbers, business names or names, address or addresses, and contact information for all endpoint recipients. So basically what they're trying to do is establish a sort of chain of custody that to be issued out when you transport marijuana and someone purchases it. That same type of chain of custody that we're kind of acclimated to now. Whenever we do our seed to sale notations for the actual transactions of medical marijuana. Going on from there, the copy of the inventory manifest to be left with the receiving party shall include, at a minimum, the names and contact informations of the receiving licensee, the license number and all that information of the originating licensee, a complete inventory of the medical marijuana or medical marijuana products delivered to the receiving licensee, including the quantity by weight or unit of each type of medical marijuana or medical marijuana product and their batch number, the estimated time of arrival, the date, the personnel to be doing the transportation, the printed names and titles and legal signatures of the personnel who are receiving the medical marijuana or medical marijuana product on behalf of the company. Going on from there, a separate inventory manifest shall be prepared for each licensee receiving the medical marijuana or medical marijuana product. So basically, if you have multiple businesses that are going to be receiving medical marijuana, each one of them need to have their own shipping manifest. Commercial transporters, processors, growers, and dispensaries shall also maintain copies of all inventory manifests in accordance with OAC 310, section 681. So basically, you need to keep track and you need to keep all the shipping manifests that you receive whenever you purchase medical marijuana. Going on from there, originating and receiving licensees shall maintain copies of inventory manifests and inventory records, logging the quantity of medical marijuana or medical marijuana products received for at least 3 years from the date of receipt. So again, when you keep those inventory manifests, you need to make sure that you keep them on hand and logged for the preceding 3 years. And also, too, an inventory manifest shall not be altered after departing from the original licensee's premises, and receiving licensee shall refuse to accept medical marijuana or medical marijuana products that are not accompanied by an inventory manifest. If someone refuses to receive medical marijuana because it doesn't have a inventory manifest, the medical marijuana or medical marijuana products shall be immediately returned to the originating licensee, who retains legal ownership of the products. That's really, really important. So if you reject product because it does not have a inventory manifest, the individual who sold the medical marijuana then keeps ownership of it. And of course, they're supposed to return you your money. And then also, too, the refusal shall be fully documented in the inventory manifest. So basically, you need to write somewhere in the document that is the inventory manifest that you have rejected receipt. And which I'll include at a minimum those same things I laid out to you beforehand. So this is the first provision that I've gone through with the new proposed rules from the Medical Marijuana Authority. Now, with these rules, there are going to be some things that may pop out. Of course, if I missed anything, be sure to share it with me in the comments, and I'll get to it. Again, this is Isaiah Bridey logging off.